The year was 1990. Nintendo was the king of the handheld gaming world. Its monochrome champion, the Game Boy, had won over players worldwide, with its addictive gameplay and impressive battery life. But from the sidelines, a challenger emerged, ready to shake things up. Sega, riding high on the success of its powerful 16-bit console, the Genesis, set its sights on the handheld market. Its weapon of choice? The Sega Game Gear. Sega was no stranger to pushing the boundaries of technology. It had already shaken up the industry with the Genesis, a console boasting arcade-quality graphics and a more mature game library. This aggressive approach to innovation would define its strategy with the Game Gear as well. Sega wasn't content with just matching the Game Boy's success. It aimed to surpass it. Nintendo, the established giant, with its minimalist, energy-efficient champion. Sega, the bold newcomer, armed with a technologically superior, color-rich contender. The battle for the handheld market was about to ignite. The arrival of the Game Gear signaled a new era for portable gaming, an era where vibrant graphics and arcade-quality experiences were no longer confined to the living room. The Sega Game Gear was a statement piece, a bold declaration that portable gaming could be just as visually impressive as its console counterparts. With its sleek design and color display, it stood out from the crowd of handheld devices at the time. Its most striking feature, of course, was its backlit color screen. This screen not only made games more vibrant and engaging, but also allowed for play in low-light conditions, a significant advantage over its competitors. It was a game changer. For the first time, players could enjoy a visual experience that wasn't limited by a monochrome color palette. While the Game Boy displayed games in a green and black color palette, limiting visual immersion, the Game Gear burst onto the scene with a vibrant array of colors. This not only enhanced the aesthetics of games, but also their playability, making it easier to discern details and characters on screen. This technological marvel, however, came at a price. The advanced display technology demanded a lot of power, meaning players had to be prepared to swap out batteries frequently. It was a trade-off many gamers were willing to make to enjoy superior visuals. While the Game Boy could run for hours on a single set of AA batteries, offering a battery life that was one of its major selling points, the Game Gear required 6 AA batteries and would often drain them within a few hours. This meant players had to carry spare batteries or find an alternative power source. This trade-off between visual fidelity and battery life would become a defining characteristic of the Game Gear, a sticking point for some and a testament to its ambition for others. Sega's choice to prioritize visual quality was a calculated risk. Beyond its vibrant display, the Game Gear shared a strong resemblance to its console cousin, the Master System. This resemblance wasn't just aesthetic but also functional on a hardware level, allowing for a smooth transition between the two platforms. This design philosophy was deliberate. Sega wanted to create a sense of familiarity for players, assuring them that the same quality they found in their home console could be enjoyed on the go. This approach made the Game Gear a natural choice for fans of the Master System. The Game Gear's button layout mirrored that of the Master System, making it easy for players to transition between the two. This intuitive design helped reduce the learning curve for new users, making it easy for players to jump between platforms. This design choice, along with the two very similar hardware platforms, also allowed Sega to easily convert popular Master System titles to the Game Gear, further expanding the handheld's game library. This further strengthened its game library. With a diverse range of titles available, the Game Gear managed to capture the attention of a wide range of gamers, offering something for everyone. The Game Gear was a technological powerhouse for its time. Launched in 1990, it was one of the first handheld consoles to feature a color display, a true gem for video game enthusiasts. Under the hood, it boasted a Zilog Z80 processor, similar to the one found in the Master System. This processor was already known for its solid and reliable performance, and its presence in the Game Gear promised great things. This gave the Game Gear a significant processing advantage over the Game Boy, allowing it to deliver smoother gameplay and more detailed graphics. The vibrant colors and smooth animations were a sight to behold, especially when compared to the Game Boy's monochrome display. Games on the Game Gear ran at a higher frame rate, resulting in a more fluid and responsive gaming experience. This meant that players could enjoy a more immersive and less frustrating gaming experience, with fewer lags and interruptions. Sega's engineers managed to pack an impressive amount of technology into the Game Gear's compact form factor. The console featured a built-in speaker and a headphone jack, allowing for private listening sessions. It even included a port for link cable connectivity, enabling head-to-head multiplayer gaming. This feature was revolutionary for its time, allowing players to challenge each other directly, adding to the fun and competitiveness. However, this pursuit of power and portability came at a cost. The console required 6 AA batteries, which drained quickly, limiting play sessions away from a power outlet. The Game Gear was also noticeably bulkier and heavier than the Game Boy. This made it less practical to carry around, especially for younger players. This was partly due to the larger battery compartment, necessary to power its energy-hungry color screen. The batteries added weight and bulk, making the console less portable. While the Game Boy could be easily slipped into a pocket, the Game Gear required the use of both hands. This difference in size and weight would become a key point of comparison between the two handhelds, with some players preferring the portability of the Game Boy over the graphical prowess of the Game Gear. The Sega Game Gear burst onto the scene with an impressive lineup of launch titles, showcasing its technical capabilities and diverse library. From fast-paced platformers to puzzle games and sports titles, the Game Gear had something to offer everyone. Its game library was designed to appeal to a wide range of players, from casual gamers to hardcore enthusiasts. Platformers like Sonic the Hedgehog captivated audiences with their speed and colorful graphics, while sports games like Madden NFL 95 offered a more strategic and realistic gaming experience. This variety was crucial in attracting players who might have been hesitant to embrace a new handheld system. Sega knew that to compete with the Game Boy, it had to offer not only quality games, but also a diverse lineup that could cater to everyone's tastes. This approach proved to be successful, as the Game Gear managed to carve out a significant niche for itself in the market. One of the standout launch titles was Columns, a falling block puzzle game that captivated players with its addictive gameplay and vibrant graphics. Columns was often compared to Tetris, but with its own unique identity thanks to the colorful gems and innovative game mechanics. This title not only demonstrated the graphical capabilities of the Game Gear, but also its ability to offer games that could keep players glued to the screen for hours. The Game Gear's color screen brought the game's colorful gems to life, creating an immersive visual experience that simply wasn't possible on the Game Boy. While the Game Boy was limited to a palette of grays, the Game Gear could display a full spectrum of colors, making every game more vibrant and appealing. This visual advantage was one of the Game Gear's major selling points. Columns quickly became a hit title for the Game Gear, proving the appeal of its color screen and its ability to deliver compelling puzzle experiences on the go. The success of Columns helped establish the Game Gear as a handheld console capable of competing with the Game Boy, offering something different and in many ways, superior. Another noteworthy launch title was Super Monaco GP, a racing game that showcased the processing power of the Game Gear. This game was a conversion of Sega's popular arcade hit and brought the thrill of Formula One racing directly to players' hands. With its tight controls and detailed graphics, Super Monaco GP was a prime example of how the Game Gear could deliver high-quality gaming experiences. The game featured smooth Mode 7 style scaling effects, creating a sense of speed and immersion that was unmatched in the handheld market at the time. These advanced graphical effects were possible thanks to the Game Gear's superior hardware, which allowed it to create a more realistic and engaging gaming experience than its competitors. The game's success also highlighted Sega's ability to deliver arcade-quality experiences on a handheld platform. This not only appealed to fans of arcade games, but also demonstrated that the Game Gear could compete with home consoles in terms of quality and enjoyment. With titles like Super Monaco GP and Columns, the Game Gear established itself as one of the most exciting and innovative handheld consoles of its time.